Hello, guys. Welcome to yet another lovely day on our series, Business and Life Questions and Answers with Osayi Mokaro. Today, we are answering this question from someone who says, my boss is a wicked person. How do I manage through? I need a job to survive. I I was dazed when I saw this question. And for me personally, before I'm going to talk about it, if you are here, you may want to leave a comment for us. I would love to just at least hear what do you think about this question. It will be important for us to start the conversation from there. If you're watching us live, just leave a comment for us. Let's possibly take the conversation from your comments. If you are there live, do that for us. This is the question. My boss is a wicked person. How do I manage through? How do I manage through? Because I need a job to survive. How do I manage through? Because I need a job to survive. Okay, but before I go into that, I just want to remind us of our products and materials that could be of help to you. If you are one of those that's stickling with the idea of running a business or powering a business, we have books that have been written that will help you navigate this process right from the idea stage to the markets up to the stage where you begin to access funding for this idea. Just follow the link as it's showing on your screen, trescaro.com/links. It will take you there. Then we also have a group that we are working with all through 2021. This group is already making tremendous impact. We target the Trescaro Tribe. The process to joining this tribe is going through the Blueprint 2021 that we did in December. When you connect to this group, you have access to all of the replays for that Blueprint 2021. Then you have access to our January engagements. Then subsequently, you are able to join us, share your thoughts, share your ideas with us, and receive coaching and guidance all through the year 2021 from us. If you need any of our other products and services, just visit our seller account, as you can see scrolling, as you can see on your screen. Right now, I want to go into answering this question. This is my first response. First, I could pick a lot of mental work is required from the person who asked this question, because part of my belief is that the choice of words you use says much about you, much more than it says about the situation or the people within the situation that you're describing. Taking a deeper look at this question, saying my boss is a wicked person. How do I manage through? Because I need a job to survive. Before I begin to share my thoughts, I asked, before some of you joined us, I asked if you have a comment you want to make concerning this, just go to the comment section and leave a comment for us. I would have loved to take it up from your comments. Leave a comment for us. Let's take it up from your comments. Drop your comments. Let's start the conversation from your comments. So I think it will be proper for this to be a bit engaging. It should be engaging, not just me talking to you. I want us to talk to ourselves. Then if you watch this as a replay, or if you come to watch this after now, do well to leave your comments. Do well to leave your comment. We'll be able to respond to it. We want this to be a bit interactive. because truly some of the things we're dealing with here, beyond the fact that one person will raise up the question, a lot of other persons are actually dealing with the same issue. We talked about yesterday how the fact that the course I studied in school is totally different from what I want to do with my life. There's a level of confusion. What do I do? I got series of comments, some coming directly to us on our WhatsApp, following the comment, following the description of this video, you're going to be able to get our WhatsApp link down where you can share direct message with us, where you can ask further questions. I got series of conversations going on there since that yesterday. So some of the things you are asking, beyond the fact that you asked about it, the answers are not necessarily for you alone. So if you're watching and you want to make a contribution, feel free to drop a comment. We will take the conversation even from the angle of your comments. For me, I said I picked some holes in the choice of words for of the choice of words, the choice of coinage that created this question in itself, because your choice of words is descriptive of who you are much more than it describes the person you're talking about. Calling somebody wicked is not the best choice of words. You could use the word strict. I've seen people who are very strict. Because of the choice of words, I decided to do something. I decided to go ahead and pull out just about 4 different kinds of leadership style. Because truth is, every leader will not lead the same way. So look at these 4 leadership style on our screen. There is the authoritarian, there is the democratic, there is the laissez-faire, and there is the bureaucratic. The authoritarian kind of leader is directive in his behaviors. It decides alone and makes it open to everybody and insists that everybody follows. The authoritarian leader focuses on task. So these are the kind of leaders who sometimes may not have time for what you're feeling, have time for what you're going through. You just believe that the task has to be done and it has to be done. They forget that they are not working with robots. They forget that they are not working with machines. There are other kinds of leaders who are a bit democratic. They are open in their communication. They lead. They tend to lead a team and they focus on the people. They understand that the well-being of the people will reflect on the outcome of the job. They understand that when we're talking customer service, it starts from how you manage your people in-house. So these 2 kind of leaders, we deal with issues, we deal with a workplace from a totally different perspective. Then the third one is the laissez-faire kind of leader. They are very permissive. They abstain from leading. They actually stay behind and allow other people take decisions. They share power with their staff. They practically don't even lead except there is an urgent need for someone to take the leadership position. That's when you see them. Then the 4th one is the bureaucratic leader. The bureaucratic leader is also the first. Most times they are insecure in themselves. They know the rules and they insist on following the rules, irrespective of what is happening. They are most times impersonal, So when you have this caliber of leaders or any of these caliber of leaders working with you, your expectations will be different. The expectation and the outcome of their leadership style will be different. So it is wrong to call your boss wicked, because truth is, the person you call him wicked deemed it fit to hire you. And right now you're saying something else. You say you need a job to survive. It's also a mentality I think I also need to deal with. When you say you need a particular job to survive, you may be stating the obvious facts. You may be stating the obvious facts, but that mindset in itself will reflect in virtually everything you do. When somebody faces a task with a survivor mentality, it shows on the task. I hire people a lot. either for myself or for any of the companies under my purview, or sometimes I sit on the board of having to hire people for other companies. Part of what we look out for is someone who is coming on the job with the mentality that I am coming to help. I have what it takes. You have a problem as an organization. I have what it takes to contribute to the advancement of your organization. When you see somebody talking from that perspective, they don't talk from a survivor mentality. When you say, I need the job to survive, that is your survivor mentality flowing through your question. And if it comes out from your mouth, it means it's dominant in your heart. It's going to show on your job. So that's a mindset you also need to deal with. First, don't call anybody wicked. It may be strict. It may be an authoritarian kind of leader. It may be a very bureaucratic kind of leader. Use a totally different word. It's not necessarily wicked. When we are done today, you will have to know that such a person is not necessarily wicked. They just have a bent towards a particular aspect of the business. We've looked at the different style of leadership already. So let's look at how to work with any leader successfully. How to work with any leader successfully. It starts from you changing your mind about him or her. It starts from you changing your mind about the leader in question. Because your expression about something or somebody is your feeling about that thing or about that person. So if you want to be able to work with any leader, have the right perspective about them. Have the right perspective about them. Take your time to study the kinds of leadership that are available. We only chose to talk about just those four. There are more. Take your time to study about the kind of leadership, then understand the exact leadership style of your superior. Once you understand the exact leadership style of your superior, it becomes easier for you to deal with such a person. For me personally, I'm a bit very democratic. I make my staff understand that you can change my decisions. In fact, most of my decisions are reached by collective conversation. But at the point of that conversation, you can't change it. You just have to be able to come up with a better idea and a better way to even implement the idea that somebody else brought. The idea is your office is operating by your brain alone. You are over laboring yourself. There's a saying that two good heads are better than one. That's why you hire people. So we must be able to tap from the level of their knowledge, from their insight to run our company. So for me, this is my style. I'm democratic in my engagement. So understand the leadership style of your superior. Then two, get great at your job. I have never seen any boss who is wicked at someone who is good on their job. Yes, because one of the things that happens is that when you get great on your job, your level of boldness will soar. You become an authority even within your office. In studying the Bible, I saw when the priest wanted to go anoint a king in the house of Jesse. Having assessed the 11 children, and he asked, and they told him there was one left. David was almost forgotten. David was almost forgotten. But he said something. He said, we always stand until David comes. He said, we always stand until David comes. When you get great at your job, what happens is that sometimes the boss will never allow a decision to be reached except they get your input. So when you begin to operate from there, you will find out that you become indispensable. There is nobody who fights an indispensable asset in the workplace. Remember, every boss has a boss. You know, that is it. Get great at your job. Then another thing is you must learn to manage your boss just the same way he manages you. How do you manage people? Understanding them, understanding their mood pattern, understanding and knowing where to approach for something. You know, you can't come to a boss who is under pressure. This is salary period, and the entire organization is here to meet its goals as it require as it relates to the inflow. You know, he just finished a meeting and is lashing out at everybody because the numbers are not connecting. And all of a sudden you come in and you're asking for some things that are even sometimes personal. You know, you could know it takes maturity to understand that this man, this woman is not in the right frame of mind. So that is managing people, getting to understand them. Then learn to communicate your concerns in a matured manner. For you to have a feeling that someone is wicked, it means there's been some repeated disposition, there's been some repeated attitude from that person towards you. Find a way to communicate his concern. Remember, children don't go to work in places like this. So I'm assuming that I'm dealing with adults. You know, never be so afraid. That is where the survivor mentality comes in. Because of the survivor mentality, some of us find it very difficult to even approach our boss and express our concerns. You know, I was listening to the replay of the blueprint today, and I saw that we placed a lot of emphasis on the place of God as our Father. You know, when you understand the place of your source, you will not allow the means to destabilize you. You know, your job is only a means to suffer, to providing that which you need. Your source is God. I'm saying this from a totally different perspective. That's why I cannot work anywhere and work under a survivor mentality. Yes, I understand there's a gap between you and I. I've been in this for quite some time, you know, but looking back, I have hardly ever worked under such a mindset. You know, I remember as I prepared to exit the bank then, there was a promotion session that happened. And one of my immediate supervisors, when he heard that the list was out, he called and said, "Is Osai's name on that list?" They said, "No." He said, "Wow, Osai is going to leave." Because they know that this guy is practically here just hanging. He's ready to move at any time. You know, when you are good, you will not be afraid. I always tell people that good guys can never be sacked. They can only be promoted, either within the same organization or outside. You know, I've had cause to tell people who got sacked from a job, I tell them congratulations. Because truth is, never allow any job become your survivor strategy. It puts you in a mode that makes you perform less than expectation. You know, so communicate your concern in a matured manner. Never be afraid to communicate your concern. You know, then understand your boss's pressure points and work to help out. Like I said, every boss has a boss. You know, if you are managing or running a company and you don't have people you report to, you're going to self-sabotage. Even if you're running your small business, there is need for you to have board of advisors. There is need for you to place your business and what you do under a coach, under somebody who at least would call you and said, "How is it going?" Someone who you have voluntarily decided to report to on a regular basis. It's going to help you. You know, when you become the overall boss that you don't talk to anybody, sometimes you don't meet your goals and nothing happens. You know, so every boss has a boss. So imagine at a point in time, you understand that there is need for this guy to be sitting before the board by the end of the month and the numbers are not connecting. And you are asking questions, "Sir, what can I do to help? Ma, what can I do to help? Because you understand that this is a time of pressure. You know, if you come communicating how you can help your boss overcome his own pressure, can never, can never receive the kind of feedback that will make you tag him wicked. Because every human is first of all selfish, not in the negative. Every human, first of all, wants to achieve what they want to achieve. So when you come communicating with your boss and your communication is on how to help him or her achieve what they have decided to achieve, you'll find out that you connect and become their friends. You know, go and watch our session on what I love is not paying my bills. And you're going to see how you must take your skills to different level. Once you take your skill through that level, you're going to end up becoming an authority even in the office. And finally, pray for your boss. Pray for your boss. When I use the word, every boss has a boss. Even if your boss doesn't report to anybody, everybody has a heart for God. You know, pray for your boss. Like I tell my children, if there is a need, first talk to God. God is our ultimate provider. He chooses how to provide. He could choose to provide through me, and he could choose to provide to enemies. He is our Father. So your boss submits to God. You know, pray to God. The Bible said the heart of a king is in the hands of the Lord. He turns it wherever he wants. So commit your boss to God in prayer. I'm sure you've learned some things today, and these tips will help you to work with any boss, irrespective of their leadership style. Irrespective of their leadership style. So you can work with any boss, irrespective of their leadership style. So go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel if you're watching on YouTube. If you're watching on Facebook, go ahead and like our page, make comments, take this video and share it with your friends. You have friends who are going through this challenge, recommend that they come on our YouTube to watch this. The goal is to do this to help as many people as possible. This is my own gift to my work. Thank you, and let's do this again tomorrow. Have a lovely day. I love you, and I remain Osai Dress.